Next up, at UFC 293, we have Blood Diamond taking on Charlie Radtke. I mentioned this in my video. Dude, you know how hard it was to find like a... That's the best picture I could find of this guy.
I found a normal one for mine.
Yeah, but you used a smaller one, so it may have been... Or his arms are out like this or something, right?
Yeah, you just cut the arm.
No, I need whole body. I don't play those games. Anyway, I mentioned it in my... I challenged the community here. I mentioned it in my my quick picks video or my full card breakdown that Blood Diamond is the only fighter in the UFC that only goes by his nickname. It is literally Blood Diamond.
Oh, not Korean Zombie.
Korean Zombie, it said Da Un Jung on everything.
No,
Tapology, you go to Tapology right now, it says Da Un Jung. You go to Tapology right now, it says Blood Diamond. Because people said Korean Zombie, and that's not true. And they also said...
The Wizard.
Somebody said the Cowboy. That's just not true. Sometimes the pay-per-view or the event will have the nickname, but I'm talking every single document, Sherdog, Tapology, the UFC website. There's no... His real name is Mike Mathetha. Doesn't exist. It's all Blood Diamond. It's pretty weird.
What about Mackenzie Dern? They announce her as PHATS, fat ass.
Anyway, Blood Diamond, 3-2 in MMA. And that's it. That's his entire record and his last 5. He is looking for his first UFC win. He's taking on Charlie Radtke. This kid is not nearly as hood as this picture would make you think. He's 7-3 overall. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He is riding a
He's from Fort Myers, right?
Fight win streak. Is he from Fort Myers?
I think he's the one from Fort Myers, yeah.
I knew he was from that area. I didn't know if it was specifically Fort Myers. But Blood Diamond, I mentioned his real name is actually Mike Mathetha, which is just, I hate saying it. Just really makes my tongue seem 10 times larger than it actually is. This guy's a very experienced striker. 3-2 in MMA, but the reality is he is a striker that has moved over. He had well over 100.
Yeah, he trains in Naples. Evolution MMA in Naples.
There you go. He has
Chuck Buffalo. That's a great nickname.
He has well over 100 kickboxing matches, again, on 3 fights in a row. He's out of that city kickboxing gym. He's with Ulberg. He's with Izzy. He's with Shane Young. And all of those people. So he's going to get proper MMA training. It's just a matter of how much has he absorbed in this short time in his MMA career. He's 0-2 in the UFC. He has been taken down in both of those fights, but he was able to defend some as well. He defended 4 of Jeremiah Wells' takedowns, 5 of Orion Kosei's. He is absolutely a striker. You're going to see a submission on his record. The dude got thrown. He was thrown, and just the way they landed, there was a neck there, and he just squeezed it real quick, and then that was it. He's taking on Charlie Radtke. This kid's an athletic grappler. He literally lowers his level, takes a shot. He immediately starts working 4 positions. He's very controlled on the ground and very dangerous. He hunts for submissions and transitions well between them. He does pull guillotines. He does chase things that aren't necessarily there. I don't love seeing that. He also does tend to slow as fights go on, and he can be hittable. For all of those things, I actually like Blood Diamond here because I'll tell you, when I saw these odds, it's like, okay, Blood Diamond, winless in the UFC. I know he's a phenomenal striker. I'm going to assume that Charlie Radtke, at these odds, at a 3-1 favorite, is going to be a nasty grappler. And then I pull up some tape. I'm watching some fights. Oh, okay, he is a good grappler. And then I just keep watching. And it's like, he's breathing a little heavy. He's getting hit a lot. And then you just really start to look at that. And it's like, man, this might actually be the one that Blood Diamond can win because, yes, Charlie Radtke, if he can get the takedowns and he can get it to the ground, sure. But Blood Diamond has shown us that he is athletic against the cage. He can defend some takedowns. And getting hit in the face by the people that have already hit Charlie is not the same than when he gets in the when he gets hit in the face by Blood Diamond. So I like Blood Diamond here. He's going to be the pick. I haven't bet on him yet. I might do a wins inside the distance decision, no action, because he could absolutely lose a decision here, but he could also take Charlie's head clean off his body. So these odds are shocking to me. I'm just going to keep watching because they continue to widen, and we'll see what ends up happening. But I mean, this dude is a very high-level professional kickboxer fighting a UFC debut who gets hit and gets tired. This might be his first UFC win. What do you think, Jakey boy?
This has got to be literally a monumental moment in history for We Want Picks, that you have a guy that most people think has no idea how to wrestle, and you are picking him as a massive underdog against somebody that could.
I usually lean wrestle heavy, yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, here's how I broke down this fight. First, after I did all my research, I thought, oh, there's no way Angela's picking Blood Diamond, and here we are. But this is how I started watching the fight, right? I know who Blood Diamond is already, so I start watching Charlie. And I think, oh my God, this guy could be my lock of the week because, one, I notice he's a striker. As Angel mentioned, this guy is a striker. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't look at the odds beforehand, so I have no idea. I'm like, okay, they have a striker finally up against Blood Diamond. He probably is going to be the underdog because Blood Diamond is has all the kickboxing experience in the world. I mean, he came in as this like very high level touted kickboxer. So I thought, okay, this guy's going to strike with this high level guy. He's going to be an underdog. Can I find a reason to make him my lock of the week? This is me thinking he's going to be an underdog. And I start watching film, and I want him to be my lock of the week. But as Angel mentioned, I'm watching him, and he gets hit. And I see him get dropped. And I see him getting out-wrestled. And I see when he is grappling, as Angel mentioned, it's not dominant takedowns.
He takes chances.
Right. So then I start watching Blood Diamond. Again, I don't know what the odds are. So I start watching Blood Diamond. I'm like, okay, obviously a good striker. You watch the Jeremiah one, defended a few takedowns. Jeremiah's a big, strong dude. You come in versus Kosuke. Every single initial shot that Kosuke shot, from what I remember from watching it the other day, he defended just fine. What he had issues with was he was staying in the clinch, and his coach, the city kickboxing guy, was literally screaming, "Get away from him! Get away!" He just stayed in the clinch, and the longer he stayed in the clinch, then the other takedowns happened for Kosuke, the trips, the lat drops, the stuff that he was not prepared for. But the initial takedown defense is really, really good. So I think Charlie is going to come in and think, I'm just going to take this guy down. He's not going to take this guy down, and Blood Diamond should be the much better striker. And I think that he can find a knockout on the feet against Charlie because he is a hittable guy. He's a very good guy. I have nothing against Charlie, but this is a weird matchup for him. If he thinks that he's just going to take Blood Diamond down and wrestle him, I think he's going to be surprised by the takedown defense, and all Blood Diamond has to do is separate, get back to space, and he's the better striker. And that's why he is the second leg of the Mexican Blood Fly Parlay. Fly, blood, coming soon.
There's only one Mexican on this card.
I wasn't even looking at
so
my. I was just looking at you, me doing that.
Being annoyed, just watching me be annoyed at you.
Yeah, you were just like, and I loved it. It was incredible.
Yeah, well, you got that little kid brother bullshit, little man energy. So I hear you. $7,100 in DraftKings. I'll probably shoot my shot because, yes, Blood Diamond can be outclassed on the ground, but I don't think this is that matchup. So I think Blood Diamond is going to defend some early takedowns, have some success, potentially win this fight, but there are some wild prices on this card. $9,100 for a UFC debut with 3 losses is one of those. So I will potentially have some Blood Diamond action going. And as I mentioned, I'm considering a win inside the distance decision, no action bet. I may just go straight money line. I'm going to keep watching this odds. They're continuing to widen. The line movement tracker, I'm going to eat my own dog food or drink my own champagne, depending on how classy you want to be with that saying.
I'm like a dog with a bone.
Nope, that doesn't work here. We'll find a fight that works.
Heavens.
And just such a Ned Flanders moment for you. But
you know what's funny is that's an inside joke that doesn't include you. So I said that specifically so I could send it to my group chat later because Big Don said that the other night. I can't remember what I said. It must have been a funny TikTok or something. He responded just with heavens, and I just started dying laughing when I saw it because it was such a random response, like, oh heavens.
Yeah, it's like 19.
So I literally said that just so I could send it to them. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna monitor the line movement tracker here, and that's where it's great. Look at the opening odds. Look at the current odds. Wow, this is really flying off the rails, or this is tightening. Let me keep an eye on it. Maybe I'll check again a little later, place my bet tomorrow kind of thing. And that's what I'm doing here. Like, this is continuing to widen, so I'm on the good side of the widening of the line, so let me keep an eye on it, see what happens. You want to unlock the line movement tracker and every other freaking tool and bet and pick and everything else that we have available for you at WeWantPicks.com. Just go there and click Become a Member at the top. It's $10 a month. We don't have a break in a week. We don't have a week off in a very long time. And we've absolutely been killing it. Oh, and at the end of the day, Even if you don't use those things, you don't bet. It's just a great way to show support for the channel. WeOwnPicks.com. Click
Gets me
become
to
a member
Brazil.
at the top. Yeah,
The
Jacob's
flag is
using all
ready.
the money he gets from it to go to Brazil. There you go. Somebody, when you did that press conference lock of the week last week, somebody's like, so he just has all these flags? He has a flag room? It's like, no, idiot. They're props for these videos. He has a
Wow, maybe
flag
I do have
room.
a flag room. Maybe I do. Maybe that's a little fetish of mine. You want to fuck
This-
me on a
we're
Canadian
look-
flag?
We're looking at your entire place. This is it. This is the whole thing. There's a bed on the other side of that stupid board, and that's it. That's the place.
Oh, Angela, I have to put people down to make myself feel better. You should read I'm
That's what you're-
reading this book called the Four Agreements, and it really gets in depth about the way you feel, not only about yourself, but how you treat other people. And one of the first things they teach you is to be impeccable with your word, Angelo, and that means not disparaging people. That means if you are impeccable with your word, you will allow others to also be impeccable with their word, and that makes just for a nice, friendly place for everyone.
I'm good. $20 super chat from Prominent Talent. He said, thanks for the great content and betting recommendations. Loyal fan. He's like our biggest Instagram supporter. Every week, I post all these
We have an
graphics.
Instagram?
Yep, all these beautiful graphics that you see get posted there every single week. And every week, Prominent likes every single one of them. We appreciate the support genuinely. $2 super chat from Austin Levi. Can I get a shout out for my daughter, Oakley? Shout out, Oakley.
Oh my God, you know what you just said?
No, I read it 7 times before I did that to make sure that it wasn't a trick. Because I'm like, that seems a little, okay, Oakley. What
That's a cool name.
horribly offensive term could that be? And it's
That's
not.
a cool.
It's a beautiful.
That's a cool name for a daughter. You know what I was thinking too? I think Kiefer is a great name. I heard that and I was like, I can like that name because then you can go by Keith, and then people are like, oh, it's Keith, and people think you're going, no, it's Keith. You know,
Is this a real thing, or is this because Tiffany was texting you about dog names?
She texted me about dog names. She
I'm
didn't text
asking
me at all.
because
Why is that the name?
She floated it by, and I shut that shit down. I'm like, that's a
Kiefer?
fucking dumb dog. Yeah. I was like, that's
How
a
does she come
stupid-ass
up with
dog name.
Kiefer?
You should have seen, dude. She would come up with a name. I would finally agree.
The reason
But
I
there-
know is
there was
'cause of
some
Kiefer on this
dumbass
card.
names. Or Kiefer Sutherland. She would come up with a name, and I'd be like, still crying. She'd come up with a name. I would disagree with it. Then she would come up with another name. I disagree with it. 10 names in, I'm like, all right, I can do that one. And she's like, I don't like that so much.
The chat will give you a good name. Angela needs a good dog boy name.
We already landed on a name.
No, they'll come up with something good. A fight-related boy dog name. Go,
I
chat.
tried.
And they're going to come up
Nothing.
with some good stuff.
I tried. We couldn't come up with anything good. I was going to say something else, and now I'm forgetting.
Yo, what up? I'm
Kiefer.
Keith.
Chief Keith. Oh, you said people say I'm Kiefer. Oh, and you could be Keith. When I was in my early 20s and we would go to the bar, and this is when they would keep your card for an open tab instead of just swiping and give it back to you. And then you go there and they go, what's the name? It's loud, it's crowded, whatever. What's the name? And I would just say Andrew. And then half the time they just walk off and there was an Andrew there and I was good. And then the other half they'd come back, they'd say, whoa, what is it? There's no Andrew. And I'd say Angelo. Oh, okay. I mean, it was just a nice casual way of stealing from people when I was in my
was going
early
to say,
20s.
I don't know what
Yeah.
the statute of limitations is on that. And
Yeah, well,
so if you're any Andrew out there, you might want to reach out to your bank and go through your statements from 1983 when Angela was going to the bars.
all right, let's settle down. This is it's like, oh, it's a pay-per-view week. Let's have the kid be a complete nightmare for no reason while Angelo's live on the internet. That makes sense.
Octagon. What about Octodog?
I thought you said the comment section was usually a clever group of people.
Oh, they got some good ones in there.
No,
It should be
these are not.
Dubronx. Oh, that'd be awesome. Yo, what's up? That's Dubronx. You should
Come on,
do Dubronx.
dude. Come on, dude. Here, dude.
No, you
Dude.
say no. The champ has a name, Angelo, and his name is Charles Oliveira. Dubronx.
He's not the champ. He got some.
He will be the champ. We
To
can talk
lose
about
his
that. You want to
belt.
break down that fight right now because
Not
he
right
is going
now.
to smoke Islam.
Okay. Anyway,